I'm Kate Word, and welcome again to my channel here at Kate Word Art. You'll see that I love mixed media, texture, hard edges, geometry, collage, painting and layers, making my own papers with my Gelli plate, and today I'm printmaking on my new 16 by 20 Gelli plate. So stay tuned. Welcome, friends and family, new subscribers, new online people, artists who are just investigating what gel printing on a large plate might be like. I'm sure some of you have investigated the smaller 8 by 10 plates or even smaller. The 16 by 20 inch that I'm using is a little more challenging, but it's a lot of fun and I'm really enjoying it. Those of you who have hung around for a while will notice my new filming setup, and I hope it's helpful for you to observe the process a little better. And today I'll be making 3 to 4 prints. Most I'm pleased with, and others I'll just kind of set aside to consider what my next layers will be. You'll see in this first video that I'm charging the plate with 3 colors. They're all from Amsterdam. The bottom one is Azo Orange, the middle is Vermilion, and the top one is Yellow Ochre. All of them are heavy body acrylic tube paints. I find that they stay open a little bit longer than a fluid paint, and so I can work with the stencils that I've cut and I can place them. You'll see these cutouts are made from heavy cardstock. I typically cut these at night while I'm watching TV, and I like hard edges. They provide a crisp edge, and they provide a nice contrast with the smoother kind of faded color background that I've done on the plate. I'm always looking for contrasts, so the edges are definitely one of the contrasts that we look for. I also like the contrasts of geometric and organic shapes or movement. And you'll see that I'm really just at randomly placing these stencils. I didn't start with any preconceived plan. I'm just really responding to what's on the plate in front of me, and that's the way I work with my painting on the canvas or on paper. I'm just responding to what's in front of me, so it becomes a little bit more intuitive that way. And so when you look at this, you'll see some repetition, you'll see some variation, you'll see some shapes that are opposite the plate, side to side, but I like to think of it as repetition with variation. Even though those repetitions can be opposites, that counts. That little bag that's there to the left is my bag of little bits. I like to call them my little bits. And the paper that you see me placing is a Somerset Velvet paper from dickblick.com. And I don't receive any compensation for promoting Dick Blick. I just get all my supplies from there. And this print, this ghost print that I'm pulling may look familiar to you because it was one that I pulled in the last video where I included some of my stencils. They were cut from Bristol paper. So we're going to place this paper and we're going to wait about 5 minutes. Then we'll be back. Okay, it's been 5 minutes, about. And here we're going to pull the print. And you'll see that the shapes and the strips that I placed have created a resist to reveal the first print layer underneath. It's kind of neat. You can see the texture too from the paint. Brayering the paint. And that may or may not be a clean brayer. That may be why I have some texture there. So now I'm going to take these stencils off the plate, and there will be a ghost print to pull also after I get all of them off. I'm looking there for my X-Acto knife, I guess. And I'm taking these paper pieces off, and some of them will be probably just a one-off. I mean, but for the most part, I try to keep them after they dry. I can either apply gloss medium to them so that I can turn them over and reuse them, or I can use them as collage fodder. I had done that before too. They make nice pieces for collage. I think that's neat where you pull that stencil off and there's paint that's underneath there that's going to be transferred to the next print. And here I'm going to charge the plate with blue, several different blues. And I've selected blue because it's a complementary color to that orangey, yellowish color that I've used on the plate in the previous layer. Again, I'm always looking for contrast, and complementary colors provide another contrast. The colors that I have selected to use, I know I've pulled out that turquoise there from Blick, but I end up not using it. It's a little more fluid than I would like. But I have selected 3 heavy body tube colors. Cerulean Blue from Grumbacher and Primary Cyan from Amsterdam, and a turquoise green that I'm using there, also from Amsterdam. I know it doesn't look real green there, but that's the way it's labeled, as turquoise green. And I really work to fade those colors so that it's a smoother blend, more of a fade. And I'm offloading extra paint there. I think I got a little bit more turquoise than I would have liked, but it's easy enough to offload. I use those for collage material too, my copy papers that I use for offloading. Some of those end up being quite lovely. And I have a problem keeping paint off the edges of my plate, and if you don't wipe it down, even on that plastic that's around my plate, I have recently gotten extra paint there, and I have to really work at wiping that down, otherwise I get paint all over my paper where I don't want it. And I love the marks that my comb makes. I love that undulating linear movement through the paint colors, and using a branch from a flower arrangement, and then taking my silicone color shaper and just sort of randomly wiping it so that my marks are not quite so perfect. Kind of gives it a smooshy, blended look there. And again, this is a Somerset Velvet. It's a clean piece of paper, and we're going to wait 5 more minutes again. And I especially want to wait 5 minutes so that that paint that's left on the plate will be activated by the moisture of the top layer, and I can get the ghost print. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes, and we're going to pull the new print. Looks like a good transfer. I like those turquoise and blue colors. I think they're very nice. Those warm colors almost look like metallic gold, but they're not. I think I'm talking about how frustrated I am about getting paint around the perimeter of my plate. So here I am cleaning it around the plate again. I'm really kind of upset with myself about the paint transferred to the edges of my paper. But you'll see, I do it again in the next one. Anyway, I don't really want to take the time to clean this plate. I'm going to go ahead and go with lighter color and see what I can pull from this plate, just so that I don't waste what little bit's there. and I just want to keep going. So the lighter colors that I'm going to use, that is Parchment, I believe, from Artist Loft, which is a Michaels product. And that's a color called Amethyst from Dick Blick. It's in their Blick Matte. It's a fluid product, but I really like it because it is matte. And that I'm using at the top is Blick-A-Rhylic. It's a fluid also, and the color is called Magenta. But it ends up, when I'm mixing it with the Parchment, it ends up being a pink. And pink's not a color that I work with very often. But it works out okay. I'm still working to blend those edges, offloading and just working to blend them. There I am wiping that plate, but you'll see I miss a spot up there in the upper left. You'd think I would have seen that because my hand was right there. That's what I mean by getting frustrated, that I missed that. Now this is something that I kept when I ordered glue sticks from Amazon. They were wrapped, I think it might have been Scotch, I'm not sure, but they were wrapped together. Looks like about 20 sticks, I don't know, 10 on each side of that, but I kept that, and I just really like it for all those little circles, the repeating pattern that it makes. And there I am with my branch, my stick again, and my silicone color shaper that I'm using to smoosh it out, blend it out. And this is Somerset Velvet again. I just really like the way that paper feels when I'm on the back of it when I'm rubbing. And we're going to wait another 5 minutes. Okay, it's been 5 minutes, and let's pull this print. Oh, it looks like a good transfer. Almost everything is coming off the plate. Even that blue, which is what I wanted to do. I didn't want to clean the plate. I was going to hopefully not have to clean the plate, that it would pull it up. That's good. It adds to the, I think, the richness of the surface texture to pull up those colors. And there I finally wipe around the plate to get that stray paint. I'm so frustrated by that. I have to. It's happening when I'm doing the brayering, and I go across the plate and I lift. I'm lifting it as I come off the plate. Somehow I'm getting paint on that, so I have to watch that. Now here I'm using vermilion and that turquoise and the cerulean blue that I had used previously. And you'll see in this print, I sort of go off the rails a little bit here. I kind of just got this harebrained idea that I wanted to move the paint around with my brayer and my color shaper, removing it here and there. I kind of just wanted to play. You'll see. I'm sure you're wondering, what in the world is she doing? There I go. Like I said, I go off the rails. It happens when you have a what if attitude. What if I do this or that? Let's see what happens. And I think this color shaper creates a kind of a resist, so that if I didn't use, I used a clean sheet of paper, but if I had used another print, I think that it would have been revealed through that open area that I shaped with my color shaper. What ends up happening here is I put down a stencil, several stencils, and as I do all of that, this particular application starts to get dry. And so it becomes a layer that I let dry, and then I put parchment over the top of it to try to pull both layers at the same time. And it becomes an aggressive pull. You'll see it. But this stencil that I'm laying down is actually, I drew it on my Bristol paper. I've used it in a previous video. It is actually from a Stencil Girl product stencil that I used as a template when I drew it on my Bristol paper, and then I used a small little pair of scissors and I cut through it. And I think I did use some gloss medium to coat that paper, but I have used this particular stencil several times, even though it's paper. And those right there that I just placed, they're actually patterns that I drew myself and cut through. But I start offloading with the brayer to try to reveal that pattern under the stencil. And anyway, it becomes an interesting, it's a more muted layer, but I let it dry. Okay, here you're going to see me adding parchment because I want to pull this drier layer. I want to pull it as a ghost, but I really didn't use enough parchment color. I should have used more paint. It ends up, I feel like it wasn't enough. It took a great deal of effort, quite a lot of effort, to get this paper off the plate. You'll see. It's what Fulton calls an aggressive pull. I know what he means now when he says that. That's quite an aggressive pull, because that's what this was. See, I'm having a hard time blending that, and I just didn't use enough paint. It's too spotty and too thin. And I guess I took my time walking over to get my paper, but I eventually come with my clean sheet of Somerset Velvet. I'm running out of it. I hope I like my not Strathmore, because I ordered Stonehenge. I have used Strathmore before. And you'll see that I'm rubbing this a lot, rubbing it hard, really, because I'm wanting to pull that print. That underneath layer, but I still don't think I used enough paint to activate that paint on the bottom. And that's just something that you learn by doing, and I'll just have to keep on. I hope that you can see and learn from my mistakes about cleaning around your plate and using enough paint. I know sometimes I feel like I use too much paint, but in this particular case I didn't use enough. So now we're going to wait for 5 minutes. Okay, here we go. It turns out to be really a very nice print. It's muted, and my circle pattern, my love for pattern is certainly revealed in this print. I wish I'd had 3 hands, because it's what Fulton calls his aggressive pull, and this is definitely an aggressive pull. It is taking everything off the plate, which I'm really grateful for. And like I said, it does turn out to be a nice experiment. Turns out well, but it certainly took a lot of effort to pull this print. You can see the stencil pattern. It's nice. A nice experiment. I also used a painter's straight edge and a palette knife, a plastic palette knife, to get those straight lines that I didn't show that on camera, but that's what I used. Okay. And now we're going to clean the plate. Yay, baby wipes. And I'm going to show you what I did today, and I'll be laying the paper on top of this plate, and so I don't really want to get paint on the back of the print, so I'm going to clean this plate. And I thought I sped this up, but I guess I didn't. Making sure I get all that paint off. Okay, here's the last print. And I have some ideas for what I'm going to do with these prints, how I'm going to paint on them. And I'm excited for the next stage, the next shift in my artwork with this print work actually as what I would consider an underpainting. And I may do this one actually in the next video. I'll show you that it ends up being, I print over the top of it, and it's nice. I like the way it turned out. I like this print very much too, and the next one. Yeah, that one's actually upside down, but it still works. Kind of looks like a face there. But I really thank y'all for sticking with me today through this video, and thank you very much for watching.